Thank you for staying with us. The debate on the need for state policing is gaining momentum with the worsening state of insecurity in the country. Rising cases of violence, kidnapping, amongst others, many believe it will make it easier to fish out criminal elements and invaders and help complement the federal police, while others differ, saying it may cause feud and injustice. Currently, the Nigeria Police Force operates a centralized system which is backed by the 1999 Constitution. Despite measures put in place to tackle insecurity, it still remains a major challenge for the country. Well, joining us via Zoom from the UK is UK-based security expert Femi Aratokunle. Good morning. Thank you for joining us on TVC Breakfast.
Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, Veronica. Good morning, TVC. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody all over the world.
Yes, I can see your red tie. Happy Valentine's Day.
My name is Femi, and Femi simply means love. So, yeah.
All right. Now let's focus on the issues. Is it time for us to begin to look into the matter of state policing as a country, looking at the current security realities, the realities around security, the levels of kidnapping and all of that? Is state policing the way to go?
That's a very good question, and it's a very hard one for all security departments in Nigeria today. It's a very hard one for the present administration because this has been an ongoing issue as far back as, if I could recollect, as far back as 2010 or 1999. They've been talking about it, but everybody seems to be shying away and shading from this very hot topic. But thank you, TVC, for bringing it up again. Yes, I think it's the right way because our national Nigerian police force seems to have been overstretched. Our military have been, surrounded with so much issues, and other security agencies are equally overstretched. So it is high time we bring a new generation of security architecture on board, and let us see how it's going to intensify in mitigating the security challenges we have in Nigeria today. But the question is this: can we do it and get it right?
That's quite rhetorical, but then we'll make it not rhetorical for you because you're going to answer it in the course of your analysis. But all the same, you said that the current security architecture is quite overstretched. But is it a matter of having another security, having another form of security to augment or complement the one that we have, or that we should recruit more, foot into the Nigerian army and police and all other forces in place?
You see, if I recollect very well, growing up in Nigeria, NDAs, the talk of the town that a lot of people want to join that, I want to be the military officer, I want to be a police officer. It's a thing of a pride. But sadly, we have a situation whereby everything seems to have been, everything has gone under politics. Man, no man, that is the language. And if you don't have a contact or a connection, you can't do whatever you want to do. And this is the result we're having today. So going by the rules of state policing, it gives room for everyone. It allows the playing field to be very open that, yes, in my local government, I can contribute. In my state, I can contribute. Then at the national level, everybody can equally join as well. It's not as if the Nigerian police are not doing what they are meant to do. It is not as if the military are not doing what they are meant to do. The question is this: the budget given to them, what exactly has been going on with it all? Who is auditing what? Let us take a very forensic look at our Nigerian police stations today. Let me give you a typical example. If you go to somewhere like K2 police station, very close to your studio over there, do you think you ever find a desktop computer at the counter? So how do we manage all this data for so long a time? So it boils down to one thing. It is not just about recruiting people, but it's about enhancing and making sure that we have modernized equipment to cater for all the security needs that we all crave for. We can't be talking about police, state policing, and not looking at the foundation of how things are going to be done. If we don't look into all this, then we're still not yet serious. If we want to be serious about security, then we have to be open and transparent, as in, this is exactly how we want to do it. This is the kind of training that we're going to have, and this is how it's going to be. Let us start from this issue. For state policing, we need to have the traffic police. For state policing, we have to have the market police. For state policing, we have to have the transport. The school police has got to be there. The medical police has got to be there. The event and nightclub security must be there. Not leaving behind the neighborhood police officers as well. What about the worship center police officers? We need to have them within the state. Again, we need to have what you call the royal police officers as well. That caters for the obas, the chiefs, and all the rest. Now, not leaving behind the incident response police officers. In case there's any backup, seeing the way they are there, who are they? How well trained are they? Do they have the equipment? Do they have the right set of tools to deal with certain issues? Forget, we need to have what you call the security customer service police officers that will definitely liaise with the member of the public in case we need someone to really talk to, or we need help in certain ways. And don't forget, we have the beach, we have the resource centers, and we have the tourist centers. We need police officers around there. So in state policing, we need to look into all this and make sure we have them right on board.
Interesting perspective that you have brought in, because in my head I am thinking, if we are to have all of these levels of security personnel, can we do that as a country if we genuinely want to address this matter? Because you mentioned it earlier, that we have been shying away from this issue as a country. But as it stands, if you critically look at it, is this something Nigeria can do and get right?
Absolutely, Nigeria can do it. They have the capacity, the manpower is there, the population is there. But sadly, we have some sets of leaders that are not ready to actually, go alongside with it, that this is exactly the way to go. Or perhaps some people suggested it, and some just like, you know what, we're not ready for all this. Or maybe some people are actually using it for personal gains. But it's now showcasing and really snaring to our faces. So the question is everything I've mentioned are equally part of what we do every day in Nigeria. So do we have security officers to cater for all this? Or do we have departments to cater for all this? Certainly we do not. Rather, we have overstretched the little ones we have, and it's now having a very serious effect that we now start looking into how do we break all this down and have trained officers to be deployed and maintain and manage all these departments or items I've mentioned so far.
Well, other people are those who are anti-state police, because some people do not believe in state police. They believe that the existing architecture can really do the work, because they are also worried with the fact that if we have state police, that it might lead to, the fact that we have, it might exacerbate existing ethnic tension that we have, the kind of insecurity that we have, the tribal wars, here and there, and also lead to further fragmentation of national security security efforts. How can you respond to these concerns?
To be in all honesty, I don't think it's going to lead to any ethnic issues at all, because the fact is this: in any local, there will be someone representing, and in any local government, there's somebody from each street or each area of ward, or whichever way we see it, that will definitely be representing. Don't let us forget, if you go to Israel today, every single household family seems to have one military, one police, one security personnel, one way or the other. So this can equally be done. If we want to tackle insecurity in Nigeria, then everyone should be inclusive. Everybody should contribute one way or the other. Don't let us forget, in the UK, over in the United Kingdom, we have what we call the Metropolitan Police. And we still have what we call the National Guards. We have different kind of departments, and they are equally working together. We have what we call the security, organized crime. We have the cyber unit as well. We've not even mentioned that in all this we're talking about. So a lot can be done. We have the youth, we have the men, we have the women. So the question is, what is it taking us? What cost us? Nothing. The only thing I think is going to cost us is just for us to come out and get things done the right way. Yes, state policing is right for us now in Nigeria. The population is swearing every minute, every day. But with what we have right now, the capacity can't really do the job. Yes, Lagos State is trying to do certain things some years ago. Remember the RRS, Where are they today? We have the neighborhood safety corps. Where are they today in Nigeria? Now something seems to be brewing, which is, I think, pedestrian security officers. Do you really think they're going to do the job? Or is just another wash, or whatever we can call it? I don't know. So the time has come right now whereby we need to look inwards rather than looking outwards. How do we bring all these things together? Who are those that understand how this architecture can actually be designed? We need to design a model that will work for each state. Every single model or one particular model cannot work for every state. So in your own state, think about what's going to work. In my state, I have to think about what's going to work. In Plateau State, what do you think really their threats? What will work? They need farming policing or something like that. That will definitely work. And now that we have the budget of, diesel, petrol, and everything, what sorts of communication, means of transportation, or means of movement would be good? They need to look into all this. All these ideas are there. Things they can do are there. How to manage costs are there. But is the government ready to do it? Will the state government actually do it? What have they been doing again with their past security budget votes? I'm not saying they should go and audit, because if they audit, another trouble will brew up again. But if we want to start on a clean slate, let us really start on a clean slate. If we don't want to, then we will keep on talking about this, and there will be no solution at the end of the day.
Indeed, this matter that you have just responded to is something some experts have spoken about, talking about how viable some of these states are to handle the responsibilities that comes with having a state police. And I'm glad you have already addressed that. But as a follow-up to the question my colleague asked with regards to exacerbating matters of crisis and clash amongst ethnicity, religion, and all of it, for me, it reflects the matter of trust, that the trust deficit that we have in these security agencies to deliver what they are supposed to do, no matter where they come from or what they believe in. So how do we address this issue of trust deficit if we are looking to perhaps have something like a state police where people can work with, because the security agencies themselves cannot handle this alone?
All right, that's a very good question. And I think a lot of people, if you say they are shying away from it, they don't want to answer it. The answer is simple. I am from Owo. There's no point for me going to Ikare to go and do state policing. I have to stay within Owo area. So that means whoever they want to recruit in Owo must come from Owo. Because we understand each other, we understand the language, so that again cuts off the idea of ethnicity or religiosity or whatever. Now in Owo, you have to make sure that it's now between the Christians, the Muslim, and the cultural people. So this is exactly how you manage all this kind of ethnicity crisis happening. You can't go and bring somebody from the north in Nigeria to come and say police me in Owo or in Ondo State. It's not going to work. Because I'm from Owo, that simply means accommodation will be out of the case for me, because definitely I will have a place one way or the other to stay, or is either the chairman in our local government is actually providing accommodation for me. That is if I don't have. So these are ways I think all these stuff can be managed. If somebody is from Lagos State right now, because I'm from Lekki, that doesn't mean I should be going to Agege to go and police Agege. What do I know about Agege? Nothing. So that means I have to stay within my Lekki area and make sure I police my Lekki axis area. So somebody from, what's it called again? Ajangbadi will stay in Ajangbadi area. Somebody from Ajegunle will stay in Ajegunle, because in Ajegunle it's a different ball game. You understand the language, you understand the street, you know who is who around there. They can relate with you, you can relate with them. So passing information and diverging information and mitigating threats will be much more lesser. You can't go and bring somebody who is not from Ajegunle and say, okay, you are from Ajegunle, let us go to Lekki. It's not going to work. You can't take somebody from Ikorodu now to Ikeja to go and police Ikeja. It's not going to work. How to manage all this are so easy and simple, but the question is will they not put politics into it at the end of the day? Will they not put all this I've mentioned again, ethnicity and all it at the end of the day? Managing state policing is the easiest. That is if they want to do it. However, if they now make it so complicated, then we will not be able to do it. If you now go back again to what we have before, that means that's not around the barber chair, which is more like a yo-yo.
But in all of this, it doesn't take away the fact that the challenges that might actually erupt out of considering state police, because originally we have a federal state, we have a federal, there's some sort of duplication, or people are worried about duplication of efforts because the lack of coherence or coordination between federal and state government in terms of policing. When we now have all of other, multi-level policing, people believe that there might be, duplication of efforts and then logistical challenges. Do you not worry? How do you feel? What concerns, rather, do you also have about this, if any?
I'm not at all worried about the level of challenges that you might think a lot of people will have in terms of the federal police and the state policing. Rather, it's going to create more of a challenging room for everybody, not to outpace themselves, but to showcase that, yes, money well spent can be seen within our state policing, and it is not left for the federal government to now say, you know what, we want to up our own game. So it's a way of, looking at what each state model is actually doing and looking at what can we tap from this, what can we gain from this, and, act accordingly. It's just like going to be, it's still going to be like our road network in Nigeria. We have the trunk A, trunk B, trunk C. The trunk A road, we know, is for the federal government. The trunk C is for the state government. The trunk B is for the state, while the trunk C is for the local government. So it will now create a big challenge. I think let us do our best so that they will not pin on us that, yes, we are the one at fault. So at the end of the day, it is not going to create any challenges that is going to be like a problem. Rather, it's going to create a bit of challenges, as in let us do the needful. So we will now see or know which area we're lacking so that we can now concentrate on it. Yes, the federal might will still be there. There's no doubt about that. If they need any more capacity or any more resources, they can still consult the federal mind. That's fine, because it's still going to be a baby organization that is learning how to work, how to sit, and all the rest. And this is exactly where the federal government is going to come in and support and provide ideas as well for them, but not leaving behind. Do we need the state policing right now? Yes, we do. Can it work in Nigeria? Yes, it can work. Are we ready to go for it? Yes, we are. Is Lagos State practicing it right now? Either we say yes or no. Yes, Lagos State is practicing that. Other states are equally practicing. Remember, Motekun is still there. Yes. In the north, we have Eshabab and all the rest. A lot of them, Zamfara, they've created their own. Miyet Sierra seems to have created their own as well. So that simply means a lot of departments within the state policing can actually work in Nigeria if we put efforts together. Ideas will come, and everybody will try to, let's do it this way, let's do it that way. All we want is this, is a simple thing. Let us save lives and property. Are we ready to do it? Yes. The only way we can do it is by providing the safety net. And what is the safety net? Human capacity, human personnel to be trained, well equipped, with good welfare. Don't let us forget, with good welfare. If we give them good welfare, and proper pay home package for their family as well, they will definitely do the job. It's been done, it's been practiced all over the world. Why can't we do it? We call ourselves the giant of Africa. We have to do things to showcase that truly we are the giant of Africa.
Right, but there's still one more concern that people have with regards to this matter of state policing, and it has to do with the political elite using police, the state police, as mercenaries, or use them as tools to fight their opposition, so to speak. I wonder how you want to react to that.
Well, we have reached a crossroad in Nigeria right now, whereby politics seems to have gone straight into security. Security seems to have gone straight into politics. Yes, this is going to be a big challenge, as in politically they want to make use of a lot of security architecture, to probably let me put it to you this way, Veronica. Challenge the opponents, or maybe give a threat or give a rundown fight to the opponents, which is not really the fact. It's not meant to be so, but definitely things like this will happen. But it now depends on each community. It now depends on each local government. Are they ready to allow this to happen? Are we going to continue this way? Haven't we suffered enough? Veronica, haven't we suffered enough? So if we keep going this way, then we are yet to see what we call shege. Then that means we will see pro-max shege in creating the state policing. But if we don't want to see all this, as I've said, then the best thing for us to do is simple. Let us be honest and be truthful and allow security integrity to work for us in Nigeria. If integrity with the policing can work for us in Nigeria, then the politics of today will have no chance to allow politics to work the way it's meant to work and allow security to work the way it's meant to be. We have to divide it, make sure that we have politics separately and security separately, because during politics, safety net is actually indeed necessary. But for us to have it, it is a thing that everybody must sign a pact, peace accord, to make sure that yes, we do things the needful in the right way. If we follow the right way, the right direction, everything will surely come to pass.
Right.
Policing, let us do it.
Yeah, very quickly because of our time. Could you, paint for us a scenario or an example of a country where state policing has been very effective or problematic, and what Nigeria, which country we can copy in order to learn and localize our own form of state policing? Very quickly.
Let me answer your question with a reference. In 2015, 2016, I was contacted by the Lagos State Security Trust Fund to come up with a model of neighborhood safety corps. That was during Atowori, before Dr. Balogun came on board. And I gave them a model. And I think the model is what you see today in Lagos State, which is the neighborhood safety corps. Though I wasn't part of the training committee or the planning or whatsoever, but one thing that I can see that worked better for Lagos State, which I don't think is really working as such, I'm not trying to run any state down, is the use of what they ought to achieve. They are not really achieving it. London, United Kingdom, they have different state policing, different policies around, which is number one. In Manchester, their policing system is quite different from what they do in London. In Sheffield, is different from what they do in Scotland. Scotland is different from what they practice in Wales. However, they still have a way of, diverging and, sharing communication, intelligence to make sure that things work well for them. So if we can go through this module as well and get it right, yes, Nigeria will definitely get it right. Okay,
earlier you mentioned the matter of budget for the police. You said that the root of this is the matter of the budget. And last year, we saw that the Senate passed a sum of 57 billion naira as the budget of the Nigeria Police Trust Fund for the 2023 fiscal year. And then I'm wondering, some of these monies that we have seen, it was said that the committee recommended 47 billion naira for capital expenditure and 9 billion naira for recurrent expenditure. You said the budget is not something to write home about, if I am to paraphrase your line of thought. What should it be if we are looking to really address this matter of security head on?
You see, thank you so much for the question you just raised. Let us first start with the 57 billion you just mentioned. Let us divide 57 billion by 36 states or 37 states. So you can see now that we're not even talking about 1 billion per state. So it's still nothing. How much are you going to spend on, let us now look at the hardware they're going to wear. How much are they going to wear on boots and extras that they need to have? How much are they going to be paying or providing for their uniform, which they need to have extras? What about their radios? What about their body cams? What about vehicles, fueling, maintenance of all this? We're not even talking about admin paperwork. We're not talking about emergency budget, because at every single point you see a police officer patrolling anywhere, they need to have certain amount of money with them. Either they spend it or not, they need to have what you call the emergency budget fee in their pocket. So that at the end of the day, by the time they go back to their stations, they return the money back, if it's spent, if it's not. But we don't have all this. So the question is this, 57 billion, 100 billion is not even enough a year for our police in Nigeria to cater for. So we have this budget deficit already. But for us to streamline it and okay, fine, this is how we're going to spend it, federal government would do its best, state government would do, local government would do, and corporate bodies too must help, must find a way to support. Because at the end of the day, most of all these mobile police, Nigerian police, you see them moving around with our elites and leaders and VIPs and all the rest. So the question is, are we really catering for all our police officers? The same thing, we don't want it to happen during the state policing. So we need to look for a way to make sure that things are well divided. And once it's well divided, we will have a very good direction where we're going. Don't forget everything we've mentioned so far. We are yet to mention a particular team that will definitely work separately from all of them, which are the close protection officers. So where are they going to fit in when it comes to state policing? We're yet to even determine all this, because right now everything seems to be completely interwoven, and we don't want it to be so. For us not to want it to be so, this is why we need a proper architecture design for state policing before the world go for it. If we don't have it, then trust me, Veronica, we're going to be back on and be talking about this in your studio again.
Okay, one quick question before we let you go is the matter of intelligence and also working with the people, because we have often said that security is it's everyone's business as it is. So how does the people come in when it comes to using intelligence and collaborating with the police? Perhaps we need to educate people as well.
Thank you so much. We have about 26 universities in Nigeria, whereby you have the criminology departments, and we have criminology students. A lot of them are graduates today, but the question is how many of them have we actually made use of? How many sensitization program or national orientation program have we actually given to community so that we can have what we call the on and off security officers that can equally provide information for us, that can give us intel of what exactly is happening within our community. Because there has never been any serious transparency in the way we divert or in the way we make security work in Nigeria, or the way we allow investigation to be carried on in Nigeria, a lot of people seem to have lost faith in the security system we have in Nigeria. To restore all this back, there should be more to be done from all our security agencies. I'm not really talking about the police this time around. All security agencies must show what you call a big level of transparency in how they conduct themselves first.
All right.
And how they conduct themselves as
right.
they keep people who are safe. That is what we need.
That's a fine place to leave this conversation. UK-based security expert Femi Aratukunale, thank you for your time on the program.
Thank you so much for having me.
Right.